Welcome back to the channel that requires little effort but grants big rewards. Today I am reacting to some Premier League predictions I did for the season that just ended about 3 days ago now, I believe. Was going to make a video on this back in like July. I literally had it recorded and it was like half edited, but for some reason I just stopped editing it one night and then waited like a month to try and carry it on, but it was already like 3 weeks in, so I just thought no. But like I did last year, I just have a list that I made back in July using the FODS predictor that I did. That is how I'm going to be showing you who I predicted. Got the FODS predictions I had here on my right, and then I got the actual Premier League table on my left. So without further ado, let's begin. How it's going to work is that I'm going to do what basically every YouTuber seems to do a points thing. Basically, say for example I put someone down at 17th place and they ended up finishing in 10th place, that's 7 points. You don't want those 7 points, you want 0 points. So the lesser score that I get, the better, and then at the end of the video I'll compare what I had last year to this year. So yes, beginning in 20th place, I had Bournemouth. Yes, I think every man and his dog had Bournemouth going down. They finished 15th. That was a fantastic season for them. I think after the 9-0 against Liverpool, everyone just thought, yeah, they're going down. Gary O'Neill came in. They finished 15th. They had a bit of a rocky end to the season. You know, they were 5 points off the relegation spot, but I think like middle of the season they were really good. So credits to Bournemouth. In 19th, I put Southampton. So it's not correct. I didn't put them in the right place, but I got them relegated. You know, I got that correct. I'm happy with that. I know that quite a lot of people didn't put Southampton to go down. I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because of last season. I just thought that they got lucky. I thought they were terrible last season at times, but they survived. So I just thought this season they're finally going to go down, because I feel like the writing has been on the wall for quite a couple of seasons. Making Nathan Jones the manager was such a mistake. I mean, it worked out for Luton in the end anyway, but yeah. They weren't in the correct position, but they weren't relegated. And in the last relegation spot, oh my god, this is why this season was incredibly weird. I put Brentford. Yeah, this is terrible. I think at the time, you know, I thought, you know, they'd get second season syndrome like Leeds did. They lost Christian Eriksen, and yeah, it's wow. Fair play to them. They were incredible, especially at the end of the season. I saw a thing like an hour ago. So the last 6 games, they were the most informed side in the Premier League. They won 5 and only lost 1. Obviously, beating City on the last day of the season, incredible. They have lost Ivan Toney now until January, so how next season is going to go, I do not know, but sorry, Brentford. Yeah, you've proved me heavily wrong there. 17th place, I put Fulham. I think this is quite a common one for people. I mean, they finished 10th, so I mean that's the example I literally used before of the 70th to 10th thing. Yeah, again, Fulham just proved me wrong. Their start of the season was just incredible. I think after that 2-2 draw against Liverpool, that is when I knew that, oh, hang on a minute, like, I have heavily underestimated them. I felt kind of not making them, you know, get relegated. I didn't put them down to be relegated because I felt like they keep coming up and then going straight back down. I didn't want them to do that this time. I wanted them to survive. They did survive, but they did it emphatically. So fair enough to Fulham. 10th place. Brilliant season. Hopefully they can continue this for next one. 16th, I put Everton, and I thought for a second and I got that spot on. I did not. They finished 17th, survived on the final day with that 1-0 win against Bournemouth. they're a really weird team. I did think they'd be back in the relegation battle again, but I thought, they wouldn't be in on the final day again. But they were, and yeah, they survived by the skin of their teeth. Because obviously that Leicester win was nerve-wracking for them, but they did survive. It'll be interesting how Sean Dyche does next season. Obviously, it's their final season at Goodison Park. They've got the new stadium coming. I think they're just relieved that they're not spending that final season at such a historic ground in the Championship. But Everton, one off, so it's not a bad prediction. 15th, I put Leeds. Yep, that was stupid. Well, I don't know. I think when I made these predictions, they were making really interesting signings. They had an okay start to the season. I think they were like 6th at one point in August. They were doing good, or maybe like 3rd, because they beat Wolves and then they beat Chelsea at the start of the season, and they drew to Southampton, and I think Brighton as well. So they had a really good start to the season. But again, they just fell apart, and they got Javi Gracia in. They were losing 5-1 and 6-1 and all that at home, and it's just, if you're going to be like that, you don't deserve to be in the Premier League. And then Sam Allardyce came in, and yeah, it was. I mean, the games against City away and Newcastle at home, you thought maybe they can do it, but it's toxic there. And yeah, back down to the Championship they go. Will they come back? First time of asking. I don't think they will. In 14th, I put Nottingham Forest. I think this one's okay. I've mainly put them there. I don't know why I put them there. I think because of how well they did in the Championship, their rise from bottom to promoted. I just thought that that they would do so well. I thought home-wise they would do really well, and they did. But for so much of the season, it looked like that they were definitely going down. But their end of season form was fantastic. I'm glad they survived, because I really like Nottingham Forest. They deserve to be in the Premier League. And yeah, their performances show that they do. 16th place they finish. I predict them to be 14th. 2 places off. Not bad. 13th, Crystal Palace. Yep, another one wrong. Again, this area of the table is just it's always going to be that your Palace, your Wolves, your West Hams. It was Vieira at the start of the season. Christ almighty. It's been such a long season. Yeah, just for that's just the most Crystal Palace prediction I could think of. I mean, there was a period where it looked like they could get relegated, but Roy Hodgson came in, steadied the ship. They finished 11th in the end. Fair enough, Palace. In 12th, I put Wolves. They finished 13th. Again, I think Bruno Lage was manager at the start of the season. They were shaky. They were not that good. Wolves. Then Lopetegui came in, steadied the ship as well, and again, yeah, they finished 13th. Decent little season. Their home form was really good, but away from home, they were not that good. It'll be interesting to see what happens next season, especially with the likes of possibly Neves leaving finally. It'll be interesting to see what Wolves can do next season. 11th. Now this is an interesting one. I put Brighton. I mean, they finished 6th. Roberto De Zerbi should have been manager of the season in my eyes. Brighton and Hove Albion in the Europa League. That is just unbelievable to me. I love Brighton for some reason. I don't know why. I just always have. A little bit of family affiliation there, but I predicted them to finish 11th because I think that'd be fair on the Graham Potter. They beat United at Old Trafford at the start of the season. He left to go to Chelsea, and after that, I just thought, I think they'll just stay in that mid-table region. Slow start under De Zerbi, although I think it was 3-3 at Anfield in his first game. I might be wrong with that. And yeah, they just battered everyone. They were incredible. Like, what a side they were to watch. It was such a joy to this season. It's just, again, such a weird season. But I'll take 11th place for them because a lot of people would mainly predict them quite lower down in like the 13-14 region. But yeah, 5-point difference. I'll take that. 10th place. But Aston Villa, again, it's another one of those ones where it's like, I'll take it, but I'm annoyed about this one because last year I said that they would finish 7th. 7th place. Aston Villa. That is where they finished this season, so that's typical. Yeah, Steven Gerrard, he was not made for that job. They were boring to watch. They were so poor. And then Emery came in. Of course, his first game was against United. Brilliant, fantastic. They beat us 3-1. And yeah, just after that game, we just thought, yeah, Villa they're going to be in the top half. And they ended the season in the Conference League spot. Absolutely fantastic for them. But yes, just a year too late, Villa. Could have done it last season, but I'll take it. 3 points off. 9th, I put West Ham. I think I really should have taken this into account, that West Ham would struggle a bit this season. But they made such good signings, you know, Paqueta, a couple of others that I can't think of at the moment, Scamacca and all that. And they finished 14th, but they were such a bit of a flip-flop side. They stuck with Moyes. They finished 14th. They are in a European final, which hasn't happened yet at the time of doing it. In fact, it's the Europa League final right now. Roma scored Dybala. I don't know what the score's going to be at the end of the day. But yeah, I should have took into account that European nights in the Conference League would just damage them a bit. And I take it did. They finished 14th. They'll probably be in the Europa League next season. It'd be nice to see them win some silverware. So that'll be interesting. So they'll probably be around this region again next season in the 14th. But yeah, a bit of a stupid one from that for me. I think this one is the worst of the lot. 8th place, Leicester. That's a 10-point difference. I don't think anyone saw this coming. Just what happened to them? They just, I don't know, they just faltered. You know, they won the Premier League in 2016, they won the FA Cup in 2021 and the Community Shield. 2 years later, they're in the Championship. It's just so bizarre to me, just the level of quality they have in that team, you know, Yuri Tielemans, Jamie Vardy, James Maddison, Ricardo Pereira, Daka, the list can go on and on, Harvey Barnes and all that. Losing Schmeichel was massive. I think that is one of the main reasons that they crumbled down the league. They just didn't replace him. You know, Danny Ward and Everson, they're not really Premier League goalkeepers, are they? But I just did not see them getting relegated at the end of this season. 18, it's going to be weird about Leicester. But if they can keep quite a lot of their players, I think they'll be straight back up next season. Along with Southampton. I think Southampton are coming back as well, because their squad looks great. But yeah, that is damaging, because they had such... I think they finished quite well last season, so I just thought, yeah, they'll just do it again. They'll be 8th or 9th. Something like that. Not 18th. Yikes. 7th place? I think everyone universally agreed on this one. Was Newcastle United. They finished 4th. I'm in the right ballpark area, but wow, what a job Eddie Howe has done. They only lost 5 games all season, which I think is the joint lowest with City. I did not think they'd get into Champions League in their first season, because I know everyone's all like, you know, they're the richest club in the world and all that. If you look at the signings they've made, they're not exactly world beater signings. You know, they're just smart signings, and they deserve to be in the Champions League, because they were great for the whole season. I mean, 14 draws it's a lot. I think next season they will drop down, because, you know, European nights, I don't think they have a squad, unless they can sign a couple of people. Obviously, I don't know, because transfer window hasn't even opened yet. If they get more depth in their squad, I think they could probably finish in there again. But I think I'll take it out of them, but I thought they'd get 7. I thought they would get into Europe, but Champions League, that was not in my vision. So well done to Eddie Howe and obviously Jason Tyndall. 6th place now. Again, this is another one that I think everyone universally agreed with, even myself as a fan of this club. Man United. I mean, at the end of last season with Ranić and the whole Ronaldo situation in the summer, 6th place seemed fair because I thought that it would be a lot of work for Ten Hag in his first season. I thought that we could maybe win something, maybe the Europa League, maybe the League Cup, maybe the FA Cup. We've won the League Cup, got battered in the Europa League, but we still have an FA Cup coming, and we finished 3rd. I did not see that coming. Especially after those first 2 games, the Brighton and Brentford, I don't think anyone saw that coming. Ending up finishing 3rd. I mean, I think we beat everyone, all the biggest sides at home for the first time in a really long time. The worrying thing about this club is the away form. That was diabolical. 7-0 to Liverpool, 6-3 to City, 2-0 to Newcastle, 2-2 from Tottenham after being 2-0 up, 3-2 against Arsenal, 4-0 to Brentford, 1-0 to Brighton, 3-1 to Villa. Oh god, it's not good at all, but 3rd place, take it any day of the week. I thought we'd finish 6th after what happened last season, and obviously at the time, I don't think Casemiro had signed at the time, so that was another heavy influence of me putting them in 6th, but I am happy to be wrong with this one. 5th place. Again, another one that was pretty wrong. And I've also just noticed I have got none right so far. I know that I've got 1 right. You can probably guess who it is, which is bad. Yes, Chelsea. I think a lot of people might have put them in the Champions League. I thought at the start of the season, because you know the whole Abramovich situation and Todd Bowley, I thought that it'd be a season where Chelsea would slip up at times. That was not at times, that was every week they slipped up. They finished 12th. It's the worst. It's weird, it's the worst I've seen Chelsea ever, but their squad is filled with potential. Bringing in Lampard, I don't know why they did that. That was so bizarre. Because did he only win 1 game? I think he only won the 1 game against Bournemouth. Just, oh my god. I put them 5th. Because, you know, they were in the Champions League the season before. Tuchel was in charge at the time. And I literally just thought, yeah, you know, they'll struggle. They'll lose some silly little games. They'll finish 5th. Didn't think they'd finish bloody 12th, did I? Next, 4th, I put Arsenal. And I have to give credit to Arsenal. 2nd place is fantastic. I'm only 2 points off on this one, so I'm quite happy with this one. I thought that they would get into the Champions League. I don't know why. I just thought the momentum from last season, they thought they'd finally break in. They did it so well. You know, finishing 2nd place. I don't think anyone saw that coming. I don't think Arsenal fans saw it coming. They did kind of throw the title away a bit. They were ahead for 93% of the season. That is basically throwing it away. You know, 3-3 with Southampton, 2-2 with West Ham and Liverpool to being 2-0 up. You just don't do that. You do not do that. And then that City game was just the nail in the coffin, even though they were still, I'm pretty sure Arsenal was still leading the title at that point when City beat them, but you just knew they weren't winning it. Then obviously they lost to Forest and someone else, but I don't remember. But yeah, just wow. Oh, Brighton. They lost 3-0 to Brighton, of course. And I've also just realised that this is the 4th season where all 3 promoted sides have stayed up, that's really incredible. I think the last time it happened was 2018 with Brighton, Huddersfield and Newcastle. So fair play to Bournemouth, Forest and Fulham. Love seeing promoted sides stay up. Fucking Norwich and Watford. Little personal hatred there. Oh dear, this one's bad. 3rd place, a team that you may have noticed hasn't appeared yet. It's Tottenham Hotspur. Ooh. Why did I put them third? Well, they were probably the most informed team at the end of last season. Conte was at the club. They were really good. They signed Richarlison, they signed Basuma, they signed a couple of other names that aren't coming to mind. They signed Jed Spence. What happened to him? Where is he? Can he come back? Oh, they just... Oh no, they kept Harry Kane again. They still had Son. What could go wrong? Everything went wrong, Tottenham. You idiots. They finished 8th. That, it just doesn't make sense to me. I mean, I don't know. They were 3rd for a really long time as well. And then Conte just sodded off. And then that's when you just knew season's over. And they still didn't have a manager, so they're going to get Ange Postecoglou from Celtic. Is that really who you want? I mean, he's done an amazing job at Celtic, but that is the SPFL. And the Premier League's a bit different from Scottish football at this moment of time. But yeah, Tottenham, I fear for your future. 2nd place, everyone had these two as the top two. No one would expect Liverpool to finish 5th, though, outside of the Champions League. I don't get it. I really just... They were just so poor. It was just one of those off seasons, you know, after they were up for the quadruple last season. They ended up winning the League Cup and the FA Cup. They lost the Champions League final. They lost the Premier League on the final day after City's 3-2 win against Aston Villa. I just thought that Liverpool... I knew they wouldn't win the title, and I did think that they wouldn't be as close to City. But I thought they'd still get 2nd. But no, just... After those first 3 games, you just knew it was going to be one of those seasons. You know, the 2-2 draw to Fulham, the 1-1 draw of Palace, and then 2-1 to United, who at the time were, you know, they just lost 4-0 to Brentford. You just didn't see it coming. I mean, the end of season form, they were starting to get it right, and I was worried, but then it was just too little too late. They needed to do that in January, not April. Obviously, they beat United 7-0. Don't want to talk about it. But yeah, that's Liverpool's season wrapped up. And last but not least, Manchester City. I put them first. It's the only one I've got right. Oh dear God. Yeah, I just thought that they would dominate this season. They did to an extent, but it was a lot closer than I thought, because I didn't think it'd be Arsenal who would be their title challenger. That's what Gary Neville said back in January. He said that because it was when Arsenal were 8 points clear, so that City will still win the title because Arsenal don't have the bottle for it. You know, City will end up 5-10 points clear, and they ended up being 5 points clear. I mean, signing Haaland, I just knew. They literally improved their team. I didn't even think that was possible, that they could improve their team, but they did. They improved it. And signs like Akanji as well. He was fantastic this season. Got rid of Cancelo, got rid of Zinchenko. Didn't need him. Screw him. Just, yeah. And now it looks like they're going to win the treble, hoping they don't. Hoping United can do something to them on Saturday in the FA Cup final. And, you know, I love Inter Milan. Please do something for us, Chiefs. But yeah, I knew City would win the title. I could just see it from miles away. I think did their season start a bit slow? I don't know. There was a period in their season where they were like, where they were just a little bit shaky. There was just something a little off about them. But anyway, that is my predictions. 1 out of 20 correct. But I think as an average, I got them all kind of in a good spot. I think there's maybe 2 or 3 that were diabolical. You know, Leicester being the worst. Like everyone in 2016 when they get relegated and they won the title. I'm going to put the scores below of what I got last year and what I got this year, hoping I did better. I currently don't know because I haven't checked it yet. And maybe I'll drop in a couple of other YouTubers that I've seen, like Spencer C, Smitherdy and all that kind of people. on what they got. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed. I'm going to predict next season, probably in late July, early August. Just because I don't want to do it early, because so much can change in football, you know. I mean, look at this prediction list. It was terrible. But anyway, hopefully you enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next one. Go check out the main channel or subscribe to this one if you want to see stuff like it. See you later.